Good evening. I had sincerely hoped to be providing you with better news today, Pirate Nation. Unfortunately, the Hudson Community School District will remain closed for the remainder of the year based on the latest guidance provided by the Governor of Iowa during her press conference on Friday, April 17th, 2020. Sadly, we are now in our fifth consecutive week that our facilities have been closed. This follows a closure of all outdoor facilities that was enacted on April 6th, 2020. Those closures are extended and continue to include all buildings and facilities in the Hudson Community School District. All activities remain canceled through the duration of this closure, including any open gym, athletic practice, rehearsal, or any other activity otherwise sanctioned or not by the school district. Our facilities will reopen only when it is deemed safe to do so, working in collaboration with the Iowa Department of Education, the Iowa Department of Public Health, the Black Hawk County Health Department, the Administrative Leadership Team, and the Hudson Board of Directors. Facilities remain accessible only to those personnel essential for the continuity of operations, including administrators, clerical staff, custodians, maintenance, and contractors. While the decision for schools to remain closed for the remainder of the school year was expected, at the same time, I found myself at a loss for words. Over the course of the last several weeks, I've been playing out many what-if scenarios, but still felt woefully taken aback by this decision. Right now, you have many questions. Questions like, when can you get into the school to collect your things? How are we going to handle computer turn-in? How will we check out? This list goes on, and undoubtedly I've just touched the tip of the iceberg. I am thankful for the gift, though, of this past weekend because it gave me an opportunity to reflect and begin formulating a framework that will help us figure out tomorrow. Granted, a framework is a long way from an executable plan, so I'll ask for your patience. This will be a big week for us as we begin to grapple with the understanding that the 2019-2020 school year is going to end without us being together. But we need to remember this school year has not yet concluded and that we still have important work to do. To the faculty and staff who are hearing this message, our students in our community are counting on us to continue the delivery of our voluntary learning opportunities. And to our community, we will not let you down. I'm very sad and disappointed in the way our school year will end. Our inability to bring closure to our time together this spring breaks all our hearts. We are missing our friends, our colleagues, and some of us are even missing members of our own families. Most of all, though, I feel great empathy for the class of 2020. This is not the ending you or your parents had envisioned. I understand that it feels as though the pinnacle of your time as a pirate has been taken away from you. In many ways it has. And I feel terrible that I can't fix this for you. But I take great comfort in the way in which you have conducted yourselves during this time of uncertainty. You have shown grace and strength in your response to these troubling events. This experience will serve you well in your future and will leave an indelible mark on your lives. Seek out the lessons and learn to apply them. Take notes or write in a journal so you can remember this moment in our collective history with clarity. Decades from now, you will tell your children and your children's children about the spring of 2020 when the world came to a halt. Nevertheless, one of the biggest concerns for me right now is how to close out an educational career for the 47 students that make up the class of 2020. Graduation is the culminating and most important event of our school year, and one that you have all had a part in, whether you're a member of this class, an educator, or a community member. This all began when those students walked through the doors for the first time as 5-year-olds. We are working on a way to honor that achievement, not only for them, but to show our entire community that the business of education continues. Again, questions remained. Some of them remain unanswered. Others have answers that are difficult to hear. Regardless, we make the decisions we do out of care for you and your safety. I ask for your patience in the coming weeks. Academics. We continue to offer our voluntary educational opportunities for our students and have no plans at this time to move to a required model. That stated, I would strongly encourage your participation. Make no mistake, once our doors reopen, we will have our work cut out for us. A gap will exist, and it will be our intention to close that gap as rapidly as possible. Preliminary modeling suggests this gap will be significant. Our plan will be more than aspirational in nature and rooted in the idea that we can close that gap within one academic year. But we can't close that gap and achieve that goal without you. There is a time where we hope and encourage parents to become active partners with their teachers to help ensure learning continues. The teachers are working hard to do their part. But how big that gap is dependent on how engaged we all are as we work to close out this academic year. With your help and participation in our voluntary learning program, we can move forward with all expediency at flank speed once the 2020-2021 school year commences. As for entering the building, we have fielded many requests for students and families to come to the buildings to retrieve their personal items from their lockers. I suspect this will become more important to you since people now know that our physical buildings will remain closed for the remainder of this school year. Because of the extra safety measures in this region of the state, we are going to hold off on the majority of these visits until some of those restrictions are lifted. We are hoping this is sometime around the middle of May. You can expect a coordinated and choreographed procedure for obtaining access. We will do everything we can on the back end to make your visit quick and strategic. More information will be coming out about this in the coming weeks. Our food service and meal program continues in the district and is available on Mondays and Thursdays at either Country Terrace or behind the elementary school. You can still sign up by visiting our website, and you do not need to commit to receiving meals every day. This is a service that is available to any child in the school district age 18 and under. At this point, over 10,000 meals have been served since this program began in mid-March. Our activity program. The balance of our activities for the remainder of the school year are now canceled, which includes spring sports, concerts, and unfortunately prom. A decision regarding summer activities will be announced after June 1st, which could include plans for a musical, which at this point remains postponed. Later this week, we will be meeting virtually with the class of 2020 to discuss alternative plans for graduation. Please be watching your inbox for an invitation to this meeting. The emergency resolutions adopted by the Board of Directors on March 23rd remain in full force and effect for the duration of the emergency. These are no doubt difficult times, and the decisions that are being made are done with great deliberation and care. It is with a heavy heart that our school year is ending in such a fashion. We want you to be safe, and I very much look forward to the time when I can see you again. Stay strong, stay safe, and please stay home. And remember, it is always great to be a pirate.